In actual important news from Israel, this week Rav Mazus died. To be more exact, he died on the Shabbos, which was the last day of Passover here in Eretz Yisrael. We've talked about his shitas for a while. He was a great genius, carried on a legacy of rabbinic genius from the old world. By the old world, I don't mean Europe to us Americans, I mean from the Gullus. His father was an important person, also a martyr. He was murdered by anti-Semites, as you know. And Rav Mazuz used to also suffer a little bit for his convictions. Just correcting basic diktuk in the Siddur got him in trouble by the Kanoim. You heard about that one? It really upset him. In Aleinu L'Shabeach, we say, Shelo Sam Chelkinu Kahem, he did not place our lot like theirs, L'Chorelenu Kechlomonam, or nor our lot, okay, our goral, like all those masses, or their masses. So the word lo in yeshivish English goes on. That is, it modifies everything subsequent to it. Shelo, what? What didn't God do? Didn't put our lot and our portion with the rest of them. But it's a little bit ambiguous. Why? Because you could say the lo only modifies the next phrase. Shelo sam chelkenu kahem. He did not place our share with them, or like theirs. And our goral is like theirs, our lot. So you could have said that maybe the vav of the goralenu is vav hanigud. It's in contrast. But he did give our lot like theirs. So Rav Mazuz adjusted it. He used the distributive property. If this was, let's say, the sign before that which is in parentheses, the plus sign, or the minus sign, and then two factors in there, not even a factor, two different components. So it was x plus 3, and the other one was 5y. So the negative sign modifies everything within the parentheses, right? Well, you could open up the parentheses by just putting the negative sign in front of both expressions. And that's what Rav Mazuz did. Shelo sam chelkinu kahem, goralenu kechol the lo goralenu. Okay? Just to tell you that lo modifies both phrases. And for that simple fix, to make the prayers less ambiguous, he suffered. Yeah, that's the way it is with being a Baal Diktuk. Of course, we like I mentioned, there were two major issues with which we not just about you don't need me to disagree with that. Others have disagreed very strongly. But Rav Mazuz, what are you going to do? He's the one who's printing the Sidurim and the Chumashim and the Tikkunim, and that's what people are doing now. So there you go. And he also believed in Ha'amadat Talmidim Harbeh, which means raising up many Talmidim. Started a major yeshiva, and he was very influential. And he also tried to even change the political world. I don't think the rabbinic figures have really had much success in trying to change politics for the good, despite their good intentions. And he also took a lot of flack. Why? Because they used to have this idea that the Shas party has to have the Sephardic unity. If you're a Sephardic, you got to be a Shasnik. And he broke with that. Just because Rav Adi Yosef was endorsing Shas doesn't mean that after his passing, Shas has a blank check and an eternal endorsement from him for everything that they may do. It's kind of weird when you think about it. So Rav Mazuz showed us that just because we listen to someone who's alive doesn't mean that we listen forever. Someone asked me about this today. Did Rav Kook prohibit going to the Temple Mount? And the answer is yes. At the time, but he didn't say through deep halachic analysis. He said it was the pragmatic decision at the time. And I told him, yes, but that doesn't hold a lot of weight. I said, well, Rav Kook, first of all, said it al Tanai, and secondly, it could very well be that even though he was Rav Kook, even when he said it, it might have been the wrong decision. And most people were citing Rav Kook. Maybe Rav Kook made the wrong decision. Rav Kook did not claim to be a prophet, although others did claim that about him, and perhaps he was the closest thing they had at the time. But even if he was, he didn't say this in the name of God. Okay? Nathan Navi issues a proclamation. If he doesn't say it in the name of God, it's just another opinion of another great sage. So there you go. Rav Mazus was not afraid to disagree. Matter of fact, sometimes he had to disagree. And his intellectual honesty was his hallmark. We used to like to listen to his shiurim, or at least read the write-up of the shiur on a weekly basis. They give it out in the synagogues. I remember when a few rabbis said, "Meir Rav Mazuz, al Tazuz." It means you don't go away from Rabbi Mazuz, and his memory should be in a blessing. Lastly, there was some controversy. Did Rav Mazuz permit going up to the Temple Mount? He defended the practice, but then had to clarify, I am not telling people to go up to the Temple Mount. And that's what you could get from I guess, taking an integral approach or integrative look at everything he said. He never went to the Temple Mount, and I'm sorry he did not. I think that among his followers, though, there are those who go to the Temple Mount, just like everybody. The expression I tell people now is, if you are my age or older, then you have a son or a son-in-law who goes to our bias, at least. That's how it goes.